I love Big Boss. The day before disaster. Horrendous game. Can't wait. 3, 2, 1, boom.
Zombies have been a pop culture staple for decades. Movies, books, music videos, comics, all having their swing at the genre to great success. But with the advent of computer technology, a whole new avenue of the genre began to sprout.
I used to go to the arcade and play House of the Dead, I think it was called, with the physical, like, plastic controller where you shoot at the screen and you go pop, 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 pop.
It was a perfect fit, and zombie games gained traction quickly. But in 2012, a new type of zombie game appeared. And now it's all over your YouTube homepage. The concept of the DayZ mod was simple. Drop around 60 people in a huge, open world map with basically nothing to their name, and let them hunt, craft, and loot
DayZ.
Weapons, vehicles, armor, and food. Then sprinkle a few zombies here and there, a drizzle of survival aspects, a pinch of PvP, and then for the final touch, proximity chat. Delicious. And the open world sandbox multiplayer zombie survival game was served.
Isn't DayZ like forever in early access or something? Like they never actually quote unquote had official release?
But first, do you browse the internet?
Oh no.
And you don't have Opera GX? Oh my god. Opera GX is not your average browser.
I would not
it's
have
built
picked
from the
cheese
ground
pizza
up for gamers. The customization is vast, and is that
I would not pick cheese pizza, man.
Designed by experts for smooth, efficient, military-grade browsing purposes. Listen to only the most therapeutic sounds as you open tabs, close tabs, and type, all the while listening to smooth tracks. And look at that beautiful
so
new
bad.
wallpaper. Don't like certain features of the mod pack? Well, just turn them off. Don't like the mod pack itself? There's a ton more on the store. Also, Opera GX has a ton of built-in apps. Spotify, Twitch, even ChatGPT, meaning prompts and articles are a stone's throw away. It's also optimized. Clean temporary files from the sidebar using Opera Clean, and limit RAM, CPU, and network usage using GX Control. Now you can keep a bunch of tabs open without a hit to performance, and keep those downloads uninterrupted. And are those free games and bargain deals? Breaking game news and new releases? My god. They even have
I want a mod pack win in an hour. In an
Sword
hour,
of the
chat.
Necromancer, Spacebar Clicker, and Happy Sheeples. GX Corner has it all. Normal browser bad, Opera GX good. Get it now at the link in the description. DayZ was an instant success, and over time, similar games would appear. At first sporadically, but then very, very quickly. Initially, gamers are excited. A promising new genre ripe for exploration. What could go wrong? But by the late 2010s, that question had been answered. A sea of absolute atrocities flood shelves at breakneck speed.
This happened with PUBG as well. PUBG kind of popularized the whole Battle Royale thing, and then everybody wants to do Battle Royale, even if it's dog shit.
Nowhere to run. These are often in the form of a fairly new early access game, a model that often involves taking everyone's money first and asking questions later. As a result, half-baked, buggy, misleadingly advertised, and massively overhyped games swamp the market. And over time, sentiment on the genre changes. People take a look at their Steam library, and after a few years, they'd slowly begun to notice something. All of these games were absolute arse. Open world.
Zomboid boring? Buddy, Zomboid is not a boring game. I feel like you have a skill issue if you think it's boring.
Sandbox, multiplayer, zombie, survival. Words that once drummed up considerable hype, now ominous warnings to any poor soul in their sights. And after years upon years of terrible cash grabs, it was apparent. The genre had finally reached critical mass. The horde of abhorrent releases was too much. At this point, far too many had been lost to the genre. The dream was over. Dust. Gamers universally vow never to fall for the hype and lies of this genre, ever again.
I mean, can I just say this happens to every single genre imaginable? Like MOBAs, MMOs, shooters, obviously like open world survival games. Like it happens to every game. They see one success and they try to replicate it and they all fail. You can't do that. I still think to this day, I don't think there's ever going to be another great MMO. I don't think that's gonna happen. Maybe I'm pessimistic.
Yeah. But in 2023, a game would release that would change everything. A game that's trailers looked so great, so promising. It would shoot to Steam's #1 wishlisted game in a matter of months. A game that would, after all of these years, finally do the genre justice. Realize the full potential of the open world sandbox multiplayer zombie survival game. This game was The Day Before.
The day before you put it in the trash.
It's the 29th of January 2021 and the trailer drops on YouTube. And it looks amazing. PvP, zombies, survival elements, crafting, and does that say MMO? And then those graphics.
As soon as you see MMO, you should run. Immediately.
This game seemed to have it all. It was exactly what people had longed for. And so naturally, the video gets around. More than 1 million views conjured in no time.
Yep.
The Day Before is off to a strong start.
It's funny for me. I feel like I've been burned by so many games that look good on paper. Like, the trailer looked good, but there was no actual gameplay involved, so I don't believe it at all.
Over in Singapore, and the developers, fantastic, are celebrating. And for the two founding brothers, it's time to jump in front of the cam. Edward and Eisen Gotovtsev run us through the game themselves in a new combat gameplay trailer.
Yeah, and I thought this was a fake gameplay trailer. There was like no UI, you can, I don't know, it just looked fake to me. I know that you kind of have to fake gameplay trailers, but this looks a little bit two-stage.
Where they call the game a real breakthrough for the MMO survival genre. And that they'd reinvented everything. Nice. In March, they drop a vehicle trailer. Here, they show us vehicles. And then an extended gameplay trailer in April. People flock to view it, and it racks up more than 1 million views in just one day, racking up millions more down the line. At this point, the trailers and marketing materials are rich, constantly flowing. We're spoiled. But then suddenly, nothing. After April, complete radio silence. We have no choice but to wait. Months go by, and nothing but a screenshot here and a tweet there. Bear in mind, at this point, the official release date is just coming soon. We're starved. But finally, after 5 months of silence, in October, they come back. Another trailer on IGN. This time, a look at the world they'd created from the ground up, including a massive shopping centre. The music choice is strange, but oh well. And wait.
Yeah, that is weird. Why would you do that for an MMO zombie survival game? Like for Left 4 Dead, I might give it a pass. That's like because it's so goofy. Like, what
There's more.
hell?
Weightlifting.
What?
Nice. And guess what?
For what?
Brothers are back. They jump on cam again and give a shout out to their global team, which consists of thousands of people from Russia, Germany, Kazakhstan, Turkey, and more. And is that
very nice?
The release date. Wait, it's 2025? 2024? 2023?
What?
Oh my god. The 21st of June, 2022.
Oh, it's almost my birthday.
That's just a few months' time. The game goes on a media blitz. Articles are everywhere. It even climbs the ranks to Steam's #1.
That's another red flag for me. When there's so many people making articles about a game before it's even released. Like Elden Ring, yeah, it popped off a little bit. before the launch, like the DLC, and then also before the game was releasing. But it was not near as much as the day before. Everybody wouldn't shut the hell up about this game.
Wishlisted game, beating out the likes of Stalker 2 and even
Cringe.
Starfield. Todd is distraught.
I mean,
They used this spotlight to announce a new fantastic game called Prop Night.
oh my god.
Essentially, Dead by Daylight mixed with Prop Hunt. It releases a few weeks later in November 2021. And it's fine. Nothing like the scope of the day before, but it works. And sells a decent amount of copies.
That's
and with
a lot.
that, they disappear again, not to be heard from again for months.
Prop Night I heard was really buggy and not fun to play. Yeah, that's another red flag, is releasing other games while you're like trying to prepare for a massive one. Probably shouldn't do that.
It's May 2022, now just 1 month till release. And still, nothing. What's going on? It's at this point that people on the internet gather together and questions start being asked. This was now the second time Fantastic had gone dark, this time a month before launch no less. Was this game even real?
Yeah, even for Elden Ring, like, you saw people playing the game. That's usually when you start getting articles of people getting early access. Big red flag. Big.
However, in January, Nvidia had dropped a promotional video showcasing the game in 4K, and it's glorious. For that to get posted on Nvidia's official YouTube channel, they must have something. But finally,
Surely.
Fantastic comes out from the shadows. Okay, yes, the game is supposed to be launching in a month's time. However, no. No, it's not. We've decided we're switching to Unreal Engine 5, and the game will now come out in about a year's time. March the 1st, 2023.
Wow.
The transition to a more advanced and adapted open worlds engine will make the gameplay of the day before even more fantastic. And with that, they drop the mic and walk away.
Delaying a game again. Tasty. I sure hope
Okay,
it's not
so
gonna
instead
fail.
of 6 weeks till launch, it's now about a year. Not great, and a bit of a late announcement. Also, the change to a different engine just 1 month from launch, definitely a bit sussy. Then fast forward to June, and a page is discovered on Fantastic's.
There's nothing wrong with UE4 as well, Chad. I'm not gonna lie. DBD updated from UE4 to UE5, and the change is like a little bit noticeable, like barely.
Website. On it,
You don't need
reads,
to do
Be a
that.
volunteer. Fantastic's culture is based on the idea of volunteering. Every member of Fantastic is a volunteer.
Volunteer coding. That's a new one. I've never heard of that before.
Naturally, people are horrified. They're using unpaid labor to make this game. However, Fantastic comes out of the dark again. They tell us all of its employees, paid or not, are volunteers. This is because they always try to bring in proactive people with open hearts. Right. What's actually happening is there's two types of workers there. Both have salaries. It's just one of those salaries consists exclusively of cool rewards, participation certificates, and free codes.
Oh my god.
Also, a perfect time to jump in front of the cam again.
They took notes from Blizzard. When people got fired from Blizzard, some of their severance packages included like Blizzard bucks. Yeah, the Blizzard balance instead of like actual severance pay. Yep, paid in gum. Paid in gum. Drop the G and get a C.
This time they advertise this volunteer culture on their YouTube, saying how nice it is to be part of their unpaid volunteer team. Wonderful. Okay, yeah. None of this was sounding too reassuring. So people do a bit of digging and actually look into the company. Fantastic.
Wow.
Turns out the two brothers set up the company in the Siberian city of Yakutsk, Russia, back in around 2016. This was back when they just started
Wait, they said Singapore, so they moved?
the first game, Wild 8. This is a small indie survival game, crowdfunded on Kickstarter to the tune of almost $60,000 and with a publisher called Hype Train on board.
But it doesn't look that bad. It doesn't.
And the Wild 8 released onto Steam Early Access in February 2017.
Okay, mixed, mostly positive. Like, so in the end, it wasn't actually a bad game.
However, just 9 months after putting the game out, problem. An argument arises within the team and resulted in them ditching the game entirely and ending up selling the rights to the publisher. On to Dead Dozen. This is a co-op horror game, Fantastic released in March 2018. It launches in a terrible state, and just 1 month after launch, they announce they're out of funds, and that it's
surprise.
over. It's delisted from Steam in under 2 years. Then Radiant One, a small, isometric, free-to-play mobile game, released on July the 6th, 2018. This is bug-free and launched without a hitch, but again, it's a tiny mobile game. And finally,
how do you make money? How do they make money off of it? That's what I would want to know.
Pop Night at the end of 2021. Now, in fairness, they actually had given this some post-launch support and even completely overhauled the graphics in an update, which everyone absolutely hated and was promptly reverted. But so far, this was the only game they've actually announced and stuck with for a bit. So not the greatest track record so far. And then straight from all of that to one of the most ambitious MMOs ever made? Yeah. What people initially assumed was probably a fairly big, competent studio that could maybe actually tackle something like this.
Okay, to be fair, Blizzard was making RTSs and they decided to make the leap into MMOs. Nobody had faith in them to be successful. Like, you gotta give people a chance, but at the same time, like, holy crap, like, geez Louise. At least Warcraft 3 was successful, like, in the entire world, and people knew who Blizzard were. They had that going for them. These people are literal who's.
Was actually a minuscule studio that had pumped out a couple of half-assed, quickly abandoned early access titles, and a free-to-play mobile game, and also had a ton of their staff essentially working for free.
Yeah.
Not ideal. People also take the time to look into Mytona, the day before's publisher.
That
previously published genre-pioneering hits, such as Chef and Friends and Cooking Diary.
Oh no.
So of course, the next natural step was an absolutely enormous zombie MMO. And to top that all off, for the rest of 2022, radio silence again. People are now very concerned. Right guys, we're losing support at breakneck speed here. Something has to be done. And in January 2023, another Nvidia video drops. This time, a lukewarm reaction.
I mean, it's alright, like...
Everybody already knew that if there was a game, it looked good. However, they also drop another video. Life at Fantastic.
No. Oh no.
Here, they tell us they're actually partnered with Nvidia and Lenovo and get products from them for free. They've now been working on the game for 4 years. They show us how great it is to work for them.
Who the fuck cares? Make the game, you fucking clowns. What the fuck are you doing? I don't give a fuck if you have nice food! What? You think it's a 700? I'm so pissed! The ThinkPad? Whoa, bro. We get out and we drink and we make game.
Just look at how much fun they're having. It's also worth noting, we don't see an actual office here once. But the main thing here, their app. Turns out, there's this new app they've developed called the Continent app. And they're talking about it. A lot. In fact, the whole video seems more like an ad about that than the actual game or company.
With the Continent app.
The description of the video was also literally just a link to download the app.
What?
They also post this on Twitter. Okay, now people are really pissed. This game was launching in just around 8 weeks.
What was the app even for? What the hell?
And they hadn't seen any proper footage in months. Not once had they actually seen raw gameplay. Half the team were being paid in Funko Pops. And now they were being shilled an off-brand Russian version of Zoom. Boys, sorry to say, this thing's not looking good. Wait, Fantastic says. Fine. Actual, raw gameplay is on the way, lads. We'll post it in Discord soon. But then, something disastrous happens. On the 25th of Jan 2023, people log on to Steam and check their wish lists. Is something missing? And after rigorously scrolling up and down to think, hold on, the day before, where was it?
They deleted
Had the game
it.
been
No
taken
way.
off Steam? Some people load up Fantastic's YouTube page, and even some of their videos are down. Devoted fans fear the worst.
Oh
The
my
dreaded
God.
rug pull was here.
Oh!
However, Fantastic rushed to the Discord, and they have a little something to say. Hey, so yep, the game has been taken down from Steam, but don't worry. It was taken down due to a bug from Steam maintenance. This whole thing's normal, and it'll be right back.
I've never heard of that happening in my entire life. Never have I heard that Steam bugged out and it took something down. Yeah.
Not long after, they come out with another, completely different statement. So, actually, turns out that old name of ours, you know, the one we'd been advertising in every trailer and poster for a couple of years now.
Copyrighted.
Well, we'd never actually got round to trademarking it. And, Korean Calendar app may have got there first. And they're now suing us. And of course, they also announce another delay. And March 2023 now becomes November the 10th. 17 months after the original launch. You know, because of the trademark issues. But then they come out and say that actually, this delay was planned all along. Also, because of this whole situation, that actual raw gameplay we promised to drop, also delayed.
Convenient. Convenient that you need to delay the gameplay just because of a name change. Yeah, that's believable, chat. People actually buy and eat the slop, by the way.
But
That's
don't
crazy.
worry. They have strong legal partners and will take the fight to the courts. They're confident. The result of all of this? Chaos. Fans revolt en masse. Reddit and Discord light up like the 4th of July. Everyone asking the same thing. Is this game actually real?
The scam before.
Anyone on the Discord who dared to ask would be exiled instantly. But now, even the head mods are asking it. Woo lads,
Oh no.
this isn't great. Time to get back on the mic.
Yeah, even Helldivers didn't have that happen. The mods were like dick sucking for free. Helldivers mods were dick sucking the whole time. If it gets this bad with their Discord team, it's over for them.
Storm will calm down eventually, and time will put everything in its place. When the game comes out, people will finally see the truth. They tell IGN. Okay. Public support is now in the toilet, and things are looking dire. Any street cred they'd amassed, already flushed. The consensus was unanimous. This game was a scam. They had to do something, and quick. Gentlemen, we've been promising it for months, but now is the time. Release the footage.
Oh boy.
So in early February 2023, with apparent approval from their legal team, they decide to release some actual, unedited gameplay. They even have a big fancy countdown for it. But then the countdown hits 0 and nothing happens. The gameplay reveal.
Wait, I would totally do that too if I was a scammer. Oh, you guys want to see the game? Chat, you want to see the debut trailer? Oh, oopsie daisies, I forgot to load it up.
Is then delayed again.
I would do that. Totally.
But eventually, after citing technical issues, later that week, the gameplay does actually release. And the game is finally out there for people to see.
Okay. Damn.
Okay,
That's
we
so
now know this
cool.
game is actually real. But there are a few issues. The graphics. They're not great, and definitely not what was shown a couple of years ago. In fact, the lighting looks completely different, and there's a clear downgrade in VFX. It also looks very boring. There's
Yeah, it looks like a game from 2016.
no zombies around anywhere. And the majority of the 10 minutes consists of walking around and checking drawers. People also noticed they'd literally copied, shot for shot, bits of the Cold War Zombies trailer. And
Holy
come to think of
shit!
it, some of those initial marketing materials also look a bit sus. Naturally, the response to this reveal is negative. So on the 8th of February, Fantastic come out with another statement.
That was actually, I knew that looked familiar. I thought the font looked really familiar. I was like, I've seen this font before in a different game.
This time addressing the haters. Anyone can say anything for views, and everyone will believe it, they say. Disinformation needs to be dealt with.
Criticism is not allowed.
Destroying is easy, creating is difficult.
Oh my god.
In fact, They say after the
Grow
game
some
comes
balls.
out, they'll spend a portion of their time fighting disinformation. February 16th, and a new dev vlog comes out. This time, there's absolutely no mention of the Continent app. In fact, by March 2023, the Continent app had been taken down, the website gone, and all mention of it completely wiped, meaning the
What a
whole thing had
surprise.
lasted just around 3 months. April 2023. A beta for the day before is announced, alongside a promise to players that there would be no more delays. They get to work behind the scenes with their army of volunteers.
When you have to promise to people that you're not gonna delay another 17 months. That's rich.
And are dead serious about getting this thing out. In June, they even announced new features, like in-game jobs. Become anything from a manual labourer to a musician. Look,
Whoa!
nice.
But what was the workout thing at the start? Do you guys remember this? The one where they're lifting weights? What the hell was that for?
Despite everyone still thinking it was a scam, they're working hard and getting stuff done. They are gonna get this thing out. There's also an official trailer in June. This time, it's just a Lamborghini driving down a road. At first it seems very random and out of place, but then people realise it's just a rip-off of a shot from I Am Legend. August
Oh yeah! I watched I Am Legend in cinema.
2023,
Crazy.
and Fantastic are preparing for the worst, in case they lose their trademark lawsuit. They file for the rights to a new backup name, Dayworld.
Day World.
How-
What kind of zombie name is that? Sorry, zombie game.
However, people online realise that name could also be a problem, due to a series of books written in the 80s.
Oh.
But nonetheless, the wait for November intensifies. In April, they'd said no more delays, but on November 1st, they announced another delay. Games now coming out a month later, December 7th. Also, only the PC version would be launching, and now via early access. The PlayStation 5 and Xbox versions would supposedly release alongside the full version of the game, whenever that may be. Also, news on the lawsuit. They'd won. And there
Oh wow, that's crazy.
it is, gentlemen. It's back.
How convenient.
Raise a glass. This game is actually releasing. November 2nd, another trailer comes out. This time, people notice that their marketing is now copying from other games. This time, Cyberpunk 2077, GTA 5, and Red Dead Redemption 2. 4th of December. The game is
It's not even that hard to make a good zombie trailer. Why do you have to copy people? All you have to do is blow some
7
heads
months,
off.
huh? Time sure does go by fast, Smugglerana love.
Yo, Kitty Face, thank you 7 months! Thank you. Creating is hard. Copying, though, yeah. What did they say? Creating is hard, hating is easy? Some dumb shit like that.
3 days from its supposed launch, and Fantastic decides now is a great time to come out with a statement saying, please don't accuse us of scamming, and please don't accuse us of asset flip. That's not true also.
Please don't accuse us of asset flip. Not asset flipping, asset flip.
This is in response to a horde of comments online, suggesting those
Good
exact
England.
two things. But ignore all of that, because for years now, people had been doubting them. Claims of vaporware, fake trailers, scamming, plagiarism.
Well, I'm gonna say it. Asset flipping is not, like, using assets is not a bad thing to, like, cut down on costs. I think that's totally okay. One singular asset was flipped. I think, no, you're wrong. I remember reading an entire Reddit thread that showed that they flipped pretty much everything. Yeah, like, it's okay to, like, try and cut down on time to, like, asset flip a bunch of trees or, like, grass and shit. But everything? Or, like, a majority? That's not good, man. Making a joke about asset flip? Okay, I was just clarifying. I'm just saying, I remember very distinctly reading that there was, like, hundreds of items that they've just asset flipped. Like, straight up. Not changed
They'd
nothing
even
about
been
it.
dragged through the courts and came out victorious. And against all odds, their game was actually real and releasing this week. It's even being advertised
Wow.
in Times Square.
Dude, getting a Times Square billboard, that's like tens of thousands of dollars, depending on what time of day and what spot. Like, what the hell?
They had done it. Made a real, playable game.
Wow.
And proved everyone wrong. And on December 7th, after a very turbulent 2 years, the day before releases. And it's so bad.
Yep.
The day before was advertised since day one as an MMO. Almost every trailer mentioned the word MMO, and the Steam description, MMO. So naturally, people expected the game to be an MMO. That wasn't the case.
It was not.
The game only hosted a maximum of 32 people per server, there were no raids or clans, and the world itself is small, and not even really open.
My friend played it. Again, I told you guys, a friend of mine played it for like an hour and a half, just before it expires on Steam. Just to play it and laugh at it, and they said it was like so boring. It's laggy, the hitboxes didn't work, there were no zombies, there were no people. It took him like 40 minutes to get into the game itself, into one of the servers, and it kept crashing.
Basically just an extraction shooter like Tarkov, but much, much worse. That wasn't the only thing trailers lied about. There's also no survival mechanics. Crafting is now gone. All that's
crazy.
left of that is gun modification and the ability to create a completely pointless house in a closed-off area of the map.
Wow.
Environmental destruction's gone, sleeping bags, this entire part of the map, and definitely these mud physics, proximity chat, a day and night cycle, no vaulting, and lastly, actual zombies. Seriously, like, where are they? This game was pitched as a zombie survival game, with the trailers showing massive hordes of them.
look at the horde!
But so far, there's absolutely none around.
Yeah, and there's no weights to be lifted, Chad. They completely lied to you about that.
They're so rare, people actually band together into search parties just to look for them. On the odd occasion you actually run into 3 or more of them, your performance will also tank. In fact, the performance in general is pretty terrible.
Yeah.
When you do actually see them.
Yeah, my friend said that there was a lot of screen tearing, like constantly when you're playing the game. Screen tearing is so bad and so annoying.
Zombies can easily be sidestepped, out-jogged, and rendered completely useless when standing on top of cars.
Look at them humping
Even
each
other
other!
players, barely a threat. The game is so empty, people start to think a ton of the gunshots they're hearing on the map are actually fake, placed there by devs to give the illusion there's actually stuff going on. However, say you actually do run into someone and don't have any ammo. Unlucky, because there's literally no form of melee in the game whatsoever. This isn't a post-apocalyptic zombie survival game. Saying that shouldn't be a problem as the loot rarity in this game is completely botched, with rifles, machine guns and ammo pretty much peppered about everywhere. Then there's no progression, optimization sucks, gunplay isn't great, servers often have a 1 to 2 second delay to register shots, constant alarms, and you can't even turn them off like you can in the trailers.
Hello?
It's Forsen! I didn't know he played this game! Didn't Henya play it too? Wait, Henya played day before. I'm pretty sure I remember watching her play it. It's Forsen LOL! Unlucky! Oh! Yeah!
Anyways, first impressions is these alarms need to fuck off.
So
the
true.
graphics, nothing like they were in the initial trailers. The lighting is especially bad. You can buy vehicles in the form of cars, but they're dumb. It will take an average of 110 hours of gameplay just to afford one, and you can lose it forever in a matter of minutes. Luckily, there's a money duping glitch discovered within 1 day of the game coming out, so now everyone in the apocalypse has a Lamborghini.
Here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini here.
The story?
Henya played 8 hours of this game. Was she sponsored? I think she was. Yeah, I think she took a sponsorship off of her, if I remember correctly.
Well,
yeah, she had
you wake
to.
up a man
It would have
with a
broken the
seemingly fine
contract.
speech organ.
All right. Your speech organs seem fine.
You're then welcomed into a community called Woodbury, where all survivors are located and work together to rebuild. Just after that, You step out into the world, where you and those same people then go out to savagely kill each other in a bloody free-for-all. There's a lot of broken English, and even suspicions of AI voice acting and writing.
Oh yeah, I remember this too.
Things in here.
And then there are the bugs. As soon as you start the game, be careful getting up, as your character likely glitches through a wall, falls through the map,
Woo!
or just dies instantly.
This is unironically worse than Bethesda. Yeah, that's impressive.
Time to restart. Oh wait, that doesn't actually
Oh,
fix
you
the
can't.
problem, as it's just saved when you exited, and you'll load back in outside the map, with the only option being to restart the whole game.
Oh
All
my
of this in the
God.
initial tutorial, within the first minute of starting the game. Then there's whatever this is.
Ah!
And massive headband.
Whoa! Wait, minor. Uh-oh. Hide Mr. Dr. Disrespect.
But nonetheless, the game sells more than
Erm.
200,000 copies. And Steam's
How?
day one player base is around 40,000 people. The game's done very
That's a
well.
lot.
It's even played by big Twitch streamers like Dr. Disrespect. However, the cracks soon start to appear.
When was this video made, 14 hours ago! He probably could have edited it out!
It instantly acquires the overwhelmingly negative score on Steam, and the Discord erupts into complaints. Hot on the list? This game isn't even an MMO.
Probably.
After Fantastic is called out on this, however, people begin noticing something. The game's Steam page. It's changing.
Ah,
What's different
classic.
here? See, behind the scenes, Fantastic had quietly been removing tags like MMO and open world survival craft,
That's smart,
and hoping
that's
no
smart.
one would notice. They did. However, that didn't even matter, because it's literally right there in the first and only line of the game's description, which they forgot to change. But by day 2, big cracks. 60% of the player base dips over the first night, and an internal leak shows, although the game sold 200,000 copies, 91,000 had been refunded. Dick.
Yeah, Steam was really, really good for this. They said that no matter how many hours you played the game, you were allowed to refund it, even though they have like only a 2-hour limit or something. Yeah, they refunded it no matter what.
God. Also, at this point, the reviews are in. Steam's overwhelmingly negative rating is now at just 13% positive, making it one of the worst rated games of all time there, and IGN
Even
has
worse
just
than-
given it a 1 out of 10.
Oh,
Nice. But now people
Nice.
actually had their hands on it, it was time to crack open the game files and see what's under the hood of this bad boy. And,
I hope he shows the Reddit like asset flipping.
my god,
That was
it's
crazy when
worse
I
than
read
we
that.
thought. After a brief look on the Unreal Engine store, it's quickly apparent something seemed familiar. Files upon files,
that was it.
documents upon documents, thousands of assets flipped. After careful review, it seems that the inventory, building system, gunplay, bleeding mechanic, main menu, and more all come from a $65 Unreal Engine Store asset pack called the Survival Game Kit V2.
Oh, that's so crazy.
Even the
Who'd've
actual
thought?
map itself. Supposedly a $300 asset flip from the American City Pack bundle from the same store. And that
Wow.
artwork looks familiar. There's a ton more, all
Yep, this is
documented
the
in
one
this
I
Reddit
saw.
post.
Yep, this is the one I read myself, yeah.
Day 3. 80%
Crazy.
of the player base is now gone. And Fantastic comes out with another statement. Lads, it's been great. It really has. But the game didn't do too well, and we're closing shop.
Oh, really?
And the entire studio ceases operations 3 days into the release of the game. Valve removes the ability to purchase the day before on Steam, and personally steps in to offer refunds beyond the usual 2 hours of game
Yep.
time.
Yep. Based
And
Valve!
Operation Scrub begins.
W.
Within hours, the brothers burn everything. Their YouTube videos, LinkedIn, Facebook, a ton of tweets. The lot. Again, chaos erupts in the Discord. which had partially opened back up at this point. Eyewitnesses on Reddit claim the final hours of the official Discord are glorious. From the moment the company...
Wait, what did this say? There's a refund guide pinned here. Refund my dick in your mouth. Return you money games.
Reddit claim the final hours of the official Discord are glorious. From the moment the company called it quits, the Discord apparently goes completely out of control.
Funny.
2 admins quit right away, and the rest of the admins and moderators
message me for free keys. Keys are $5 cash out. Oh, what a disaster. I love this.
start selling
That's
cheap
so
keys of the
powerful.
game to everyone, since the game had just been pulled from Steam. Eventually, it's just one single dev trying to hold it all together.
Ow!
Meanwhile, hate speech fills up the chat in minutes, and is
Oh
being
yeah, I saw
spewed
dick in
everywhere.
there too.
They reply to someone on Twitter, "This was our first big experience. Shit happens." And with that, they log off.
Uh-huh.
However, a
Shit
180-degree announcement in the Discord. Actually, they're now reopening and ready to go with a major patch on the 14th. But December the 14th comes and goes, and nothing. The Discord
love
is then
that.
fully shut down and never heard from again.
Whoopsies. Little uh-oh.
A few days after it all goes down, a journalist in Singapore decides to actually visit Fantastic's offices. He travels to their address, however,
They're empty.
turns out it's a shared co-op working space, having solely used it as a virtual office space. He also goes to their original address based on their filings. However, that building's online directory only shows a management consultancy company. And so, in people's minds, their office had gone from a game dev studio to a small studio, when in reality, the whole time it was more like someone's living room. It's presumed that they were never actually based in Singapore,
Well, that was a load of shit.
and only used this residency to apply for grants, and to avoid being hit with Russian sanctions.
Hold on. Think. Wasn't there... Oh, there was a game that was granted by the Singapore government, and then it failed and they had to pay back the Singapore government? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? God, what was it? The pirate game! Oh my god, yes! Skull and Bones, that one! Yeah, I just remembered that. Yeah, so in Singapore, it's very common to, like, get grants. Yeah. Yeah, that game failed and then they have to pay back the government because they took a bunch of grants. Oh my
This
god.
also explains why an office was never shown in their vlogs.
That's
just people's
crazy.
bedrooms. The dev vlog was
Wow.
also apparently filmed in a hotel lobby, and the devs were in a rental unit nearby.
Whoa. Yo, Timmy, we gotta film something really quick. Okay, I'm in the hotel. All right, let's pack it up. Look, you gotta look nice. Just do a little video really quick.
The same journalist gets Fantastic's bank statements, and turns out they filed around $3 million of revenue in 2022, with 200,000 of that going to the brothers. That's alongside 300k in travel expenses for the brothers.
300k? What are you flying a private jet everywhere? Holy fuck!
In just 1 year.
What are
The
you
filings
doing?
also revealed that by the end of 2022, Fantastic had the value of around $1 million in their account. So things do sound a bit dodgy here. But what actually happened? Well, theories are everywhere. The first, a classic, run-of-the-mill rug pull.
Yep.
Take the money and run. However, this doesn't make too much sense. One, because Valve holds purchase money for 30 days before paying out to developers, so they hadn't even seen a penny from their actual sales yet before closing the studio down. And two, they offered refunds en masse. Then there's the investment.
That's better than Blizzard. Let's be real. I'm pretty sure when Overwatch 2 came out, they denied refunds until people started twisting their arms. Yeah.
And scam theory. Some people believe the brothers had no intention of ever making a proper game. That their only goal was to churn out a nice looking slice of pre-rendered gameplay and cutscenes packaged as real gameplay, attract investors with it, and then eventually cancel the whole thing and bag the cash. Or give a
Nice.
half-assed attempt at creating one using cheap assets on the Unreal Store, and the free labour they'd amassed to implement it, all the while paying themselves a cushy $200k salary. And then there's the plain old incompetence theory. Management of the studio completely in over their head, drumming up too much hype, and flying too close.
I think it's a mix of both. I think they got greedy and it was incompetence. I don't think it was intended to be a scam straight up. Yeah, they wouldn't have done it this way. Because now they're in a lot of hot shit.
To the sun. Post-launch interviews with anonymous developers give credence to this theory. See, not long after the company
Joke.
shuts down, alleged ex-developers scuttle from the darkness of the behind-the-scenes and give answers as to what actually happened in various interviews. The picture that we can cobble together goes a little like this. Allegedly. From the beginning of the company back in 2016, the brothers allegedly had complete control over development. Thus, the day before was completely headed by the two, who made every gameplay and design decision. The day before actually started out with cartoonish graphics, and a far, far smaller scope. Single player, and basically just a third-person version of the Wild 8. Back then, things were actually manageable. However, one day, the brothers woke up, looked in the mirror, and saw another man.
People will buy anything.
The game had to be
We love Todd. He's just such a likable asshole. I don't know. I can't even. How do you say something like that and still make me like you? People will like anything. The people will buy anything. Like, I don't know, man. I can't fucking hate with that guy. I really can't.
bigger,
He's so charismatic.
16 times the detail,
Oh, hell
4
yeah.
times the size.
Hot.
And with the brothers' genius management style, apparently consisting of demanding completely unrealistic features in an insanely short time frame, as well as shifting the direction of the game on an almost monthly basis, depending on what game they just played, things were constantly changing. They'd just played Stalker, at that tablet thing. They'd just logged on to GTA Online, new character creator.
Ew.
Played a bit of Spider-Man 2, the city's too gloomy, make it much brighter and a little friendlier. This was apparently constant. Alleged fantastic insiders also claim
That actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah, they saw a bunch of other games and they wanted to make it like them. That's why they couldn't find like an actual direction. Oh,
the following.
cringe.
Working for Fantastic apparently included unpaid overtime and months of crunch. Apparently often working for 18 hours a day, sometimes including the weekend. During the development of Prop Night, the developers were apparently locked in their office for weeks at a time.
You can't do that.
What's that? Made a tiny mistake or argued with one of the brothers? Well, Fantastic has a company policy of spontaneous termination, so you're now out of a job. Just submitted some subpar work?
Yeah, but it's not a job if you don't get paid. Like, let's be real.
Well, turns out they also have a policy of fining their own employees, up to the tune of almost $2,000 in some cases. So make sure that works good. Their communication to their devs, impeccable too. People are so well informed on what they're actually developing that it's through the initial trailer that some of them find out that the game they've been working on for years at this point is actually an MMO. So how come employees didn't just dip? Well, the employees
That
were
reminds me
recruited
a
from
lot
a
of
ton of small
games, man.
regional towns without much opportunity. So when they were promised a comparatively good salary and a AAA project in their portfolio, they didn't say no. Best part of all, on the backs of this desperate, unpaid labour, they'd spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on travel and paid themselves a nice chunk of change too. Not bad,
Rats.
lads. According to the
Rats.
developers, the day before also ended up being remade from scratch 3 to 4 times. Apparently 500 gigabytes of source code was created for the game, the vast majority of which were not included in the end product.
What?
The version released on Steam on December the 8th is apparently
500 gigabytes?
around 1/10 of all
That's
content that was originally
insane.
conceived, according to insiders. The video for Nvidia was apparently, at the time, a completely separate build created specifically for recording those trailers.
No
But
shit.
anyway-
This is why I don't trust trailers at all. It's so easy to like to fake them.
After 4 years of this messy development, and in 2023, they're closing in on launch day. They have to get a move on. So they buy a ton of packs from the Unreal store and start implementing them. The final game is starting to take shape. They apparently begin actually testing the game as late as early 2023, and it was done by around 5 people. This isn't
People testing an open world survival MMO. Oh,
really considered the
so
most robust
them.
testing for a game, especially one that was advertised as a huge MMO and would have dozens of people on their servers. Due to the lack of proper testing, they couldn't stress test and bug test the servers to see what they'd look like when filled. The result? Well, it turned out that when the servers actually were filled, they were completely destabilized, so devs had to reduce the number of zombies on the map, and the hordes of zombies vanished from the game. It's now close to November, and my toner apparently decides to check how their AAA product was doing. The publisher is naturally horrified when they see the absolute state of this thing, and apparently send specialists. These are basically their own developers sent
take
there
them
to
out.
help. However, after seeing it for themselves, they apparently report back that the game should basically launch as is. There was nothing to save here, and on December 7th, it's the big day. And the brothers are now apparently—
How do you not, foresee this happening? There's only 32 players per server, and they barely had any zombies, so the game was just so bad.
nowhere to be found, leaving the devs on their own to make all the decisions themselves. This is during huge waves of backlash hitting their Reddit, Discord, pretty much everywhere. They apparently get to work on fixing the bugs, sorting the servers, and writing hotfixes. However, they're apparently not allowed to actually release these hotfixes because Dr. Disrespect was currently streaming the game.
Oh my god, no shot, man.
One of these patches apparently fixes the lack of zombies on the map, now that they could actually test the game with more than 5 people.
Wow.
Things are looking up. However, on December 11th, a screenshot from one of the brothers appears on Microsoft Teams. Lads, the game has sold 200,000 copies. However, 90,000 have been returned. We're closing.
Hold on. What does that say?
200,000 copies.
Копия игры продана за минусом 50% возвратов. Oh my god, 50% return! На второй день уже не стали в Global Top Sellers. Oh shit! На сегодняшний день нулевые продажи. Oh shit, this is terrible. Basically, they're all saying that it's terrible.
However, 90,000 have
It's
been
horrible.
returned.
They're doing really
We're closing
bad.
down. And just like that, after 4 days of release, it was over. For a while, the last bit of communication we'd had from Fantastic was shit happens. But on the 24th of January, they returned from the shadows once more. They present us with another one of their now iconic Twitter statements. They essentially deny developers' claims in various interviews, and essentially blame the game's failure on hate from content creators. They get community noted instantly, with people pointing
Yeah, I saw this happening on Twitter Live.
out
Yeah.
inconsistencies and flat-out lies within
And some of them accused them of using AI to write an apology. Just like everyone else.
the statement. So they take it down,
Oh, this was
edit
so
it,
funny.
and repost it. They then get community noted on the repost. They delete it,
Jerk.
edit it, and repost it again. Community noted. It's at this point that they just give up completely, taking it down and just adding it to their website instead.
Nah, bro.
From Steam's most wishlisted game to being almost 50% refunded in one day, pulled by
Yep.
Steam, and hurled with accusations of plagiarism and potential investor fraud. Some people think the day before didn't quite reach the potential of the original trailer. And to everyone's complete shock, it was beginning to look like the MMO zombie survival game from an indie studio headed by two ambiguous Russian brothers that no one had ever heard of before had failed.
What a surprise.
And on January the 22nd, 2024, the day before's servers go down for good, meaning the game's total lifespan was 45 days. The game's subreddit today, once large and fairly active, is now largely abandoned and has become an absolute lawless shitshow. And the brothers? Well, they haven't actually been seen since December the 7th. However, according to multiple former devs who've apparently received offers from them, They're out there, and apparently are currently working on a new mobile game.
Oh no. They're still scamming again, but they didn't have scams on the mobile games. They might have not been amazing, but at least they had a product to sell. This was astronomically bad, chat. Holy smokes.